And the man stood up for the things he believed in. A very intelligent man. So Godspeed, Bill Russell. Impressive life, impressive long life for a tall man. You know, my belief is short people live longer. So tall men, sorry, Bill.
He was
He was
88.
80 freaking 8, man. What did you want him to be? 108?
Okay.
What do you say, T-Dog, about Bill Russell?
I was going to say, just to kind of build off of what you all have said, J-Boy, you said, and obviously, I don't know, maybe you meant this. He was not only the first black head coach in the NBA, he was the first black coach in all the four major or the four sports.
Good.
So, he was a five-time MVP of the league. I believe only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has more. He made the All-Star team of the 13 years he's in the league, 12. You know, the 1 year he didn't? He was a rookie, and it's because he missed a lot of the campaign playing in the 1956 Olympics. So
wow,
that's pretty good. He probably makes it if he didn't play in the Olympics, where he won gold, by the way. Again, you look at, again, some people say he played for the Celtics. It's like, well, he went to a great situation. All right, fine. When he was in college at University of San Francisco, he won 2 championships. I think they had a win streak of like 55 games or something like that. So again, yeah, it wasn't just Boston. Like he was just that good. And then probably it also, he is in the Basketball Hall of Fame, not only as a player, but also as a coach, but probably his highest accolade that he got was his Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2011 because of his work as a civil rights leader. In 1961, he staged a boycott from an NBA game after he was in a restaurant in Lexington, Kentucky, and they wouldn't serve them because of their race. In 63, he led an integrated basketball camp in Jackson, Mississippi after the shooting death of civil rights leader Medgar Evers. And then in 1967, he, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Jim Brown stood with Muhammad Ali and agreed with his conscientious objection to the Vietnam War. So, and obviously he did more things than that, but those are just probably some of the bigger known ones that he did. Actually, the other crazy thing is too, he could have been on the stage for MLK's "I Have a Dream" speech, but he told Martin Luther King he didn't feel he had done enough. So like, that's why he wasn't on stage. So rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Amen to that. Rest in peace. The big man, Bill Russell, dies at age 88. We had another one this week, kind of a pop icon, Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura from the original Star Trek. She died this week, and you got to give her some props because she broke a lot of barriers as well. Lugs?
Yeah, and obviously that was a groundbreaking TV series, and all those characters, Uhura,
Sulu,
George Takei.
Yep.
I mean, it was, you talk about blended cast. It was a blended cast, and good for her. She really was a very dignified, classy person who actually, I think, worked for NASA at one point. So,
yes, she worked for NASA. She helped them find women candidates and also people of color candidates. She was, I guess, their main spokesman or person out to outreach to try to bolster their candidates and their numbers. So,
all right, well, rest in peace, Lieutenant Uhura. Okay, fellas, want to bring this up. This is just too cool. July 31st, 2022. So just a few days ago, George Jetson's birthday. Yes, the day he was born. That's that George Jetson from the Jetsons. Here's how the math works. Lugs, get out your abacus, calculator, your Chisenbach, whatever you got there with you.
Fingers.
Yeah, the show first aired in 1962, but was set 100 years in the future. That would be 2062. During the first season of that show, George reveals that he's 40 years old. So 2062 minus 40, and there you go. It's 2022. Happy birthday. He's just a baby. George, we love that guy. All right, enough about that. All right, news and notes. What else? What else? Anybody else? Something.
You go, Lugs.
I was just going to say, Jerry Jones put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor at the stadium. Let's stop this nonsense. He's the only coach that Jerry Jones ever had to win a championship. He should love that man. He should love the man. And I make this prediction. The Dallas Cowboys will never win the Super Bowl as long as the Jones family own the franchise. They simply won't let coaches do their jobs. But anyhow,
you can put
Jimmy Johnson.
Put that on a plate and serve it up hot. Okay.
You know.
Can I add my caveat to that?
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I would say I'm not going to say the whole Jones family.
Sports and caveats.
I would say as long as Jerry's alive. I think Stephen Jones is. I think his again. It's like with a lot of things. You inherit a lot of things from your father and your mother and stuff, but you're not the same. When you kind of see Stephen Jones, I don't think he has the same boisterous attitude and stuff. I think he can be more level. I think you can allow a coach be the spotlight. Because again, I know that Sean Payton talked about how he wants to be with possibly the Cowboys. No, he didn't. I take that back. That wasn't one of the teams he said.
No, it wasn't.
There's a reason why. Even though he coached with the Cowboys because he was a Parcells guy and he saw how miserable Parcells was. They're never going to get a big name coach. They're always going to get these yes men. And, you look at a lot of the great coaches. I can't think of a coach that is a yes man. They're all believe they're the king in the castle. And that's kind of how a great coach usually has to think. So.
And I think he got McCarthy just for donuts, didn't he?
Yeah.
There's Wisconsin cheese, maybe?
There were several bear claws thrown in there as well, man, because that boy, he's packing maximum density.
So
right?
in his contract, he had a bear's clause?
Yeah, it's called a Danish.
All right, T-Dog, we had some other things on the docket. What are they?
I'll try to go through them real quick just because train camps have started. Broncos wide receiver Tim Patrick tears his ACL. Yikes. How does this really affect the Broncos going forward?
Right.
Well, they've got some real good receivers to back him up.
That's true.
It hurts, but it's not like he was the guy,
You're right. I'll ask you, who do you all think is the guy at wide receiver if they have one?
I think it's more committee, isn't it? I mean, at this point, somebody has to step forward.
No, they have good receivers. I mean, Jerry Jeudy has the talent to be a number one guy. Cortland Sutton at times has shown to possibly be a number one guy. KJ Hamler is definitely, I guess, the speed option. And he went from being a guy who looked like he was a fourth receiver. Now he's one of the top three. With Tim Patrick. I think Tim Patrick is that kind of move the chains guy. He's really important. He's not flashy at all, but I think in terms of like glue and keeping drives alive, I think that's a big, big loss. Anyway,
yep.
Speaking of big losses, also in terms of an injury, Cowboys wide receiver James Washington has a broken foot. He's out 6 to 10 weeks, and it sounds like it's close to a Liz Frank injury. So usually those actually extend beyond the projection. So they obviously traded Amari Cooper, which they're probably regretting now.
Yeah.
And also they lost Cedric Wilson. So how do y'all feel about the Cowboys now?
Like I've said before, the Cowboys, they should win by default in their division, but I don't think that they may get into the playoffs, but they'll lose in the first round. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on Dak anymore. I don't see it. I don't see it. And defensively,
I'm sold on Dak, but not sold on McCarthy. I don't think he can win the big one after last year's playoff game. So I got to say it's a big loss for them.
Yeah.
Well, they've got him a big wristwatch, and they've been tutoring him all summer so that he can say, start, stop, 20 seconds, man. Oh, anyway.
I'll just end. The thing on the Cowboys on this is I feel for Dak. because I'm like J-Boy. I believe in Dak Prescott. I just feel now there's just more pressure on his plate to put this team over the top on his back. Last one.
Yep.
Wide receiver. This is a happy note since we started with injuries. Happy note. Probably my favorite player to watch last year and one of the most unique talents in the league. Deebo Samuel signs an extension for $71.5 million. How do you feel this helps the 49ers? Like, do you think he was right to get this money?
Oh, yeah. No, he deserved the money. I mean, he was their highlight. And he'll take some pressure off of the quarterback. Trey Lance. I mean, those, student body right runs around the end. I mean, he brought it off in the pros. But I was not surprised, I guess, by that the amount and the duration. It allows him to be a free agent even before he's 30. Yeah. So, and he's got big guaranteed money. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, I think Trey Lance's prayers were answered. He said, wow, I got somebody I can get the ball to multiple ways and multiple times in different formations. And thank you, Deebo. What can I buy for you? Dinner, steak? What do you want? Yes. Good move.
And one final note.
Yes.
I believe our man, Lamar Jackson, deserves to get paid.
Pay the man.
Like, what are they waiting on? I guess it's numbers.
Well, the only thing I'll say on that too is, again, going back to, I believe last week we talked about Kyler Murray's contract. All I know is when that numbers came out, I believe Lamar goes, "Thank you very much." I know at least the bottom
exactly
of my contract.
Starting there and going up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The end of sports and other stuff. You've listened to another 42-minute episode, wasted a lot of time, but we're glad you're here. But remember to sponsor our sponsor, First National Bank. Come as you are, bank from your car at First National Bank's convenient drive-through window. Home of the time and temperature line. You just call and you hear the voice of the guy we know. He's there probably right now.
Our man Fish.
Yeah!
And to give the hot days of August a bit more zip, this weekend Fish is hosting a Bosa Ball tournament. Never heard of Bosa Ball?
Nope.
It's like volleyball, except the ball can be kept in the air with any part of the body and can be hit up to 8 times by one team. Here's the real kicker. The spiker is on a trampoline. Yes, he can bounce as high as he wants to and slam that sucker home. That is Bosa Ball. So come on down. The games begin this Saturday at 1 p.m. Members of the winning team get a case of Molson and a year's subscription to Head Trauma Digest. Come on down.
Go see our guy Fish and catch us again next week on Sports and Other Stuff.